Float the River was born in late 2018, early 2019. I lived in Texas prior to that. Before I moved here, I used to go in Central Texas. Every river in Central Texas is packed bank to bank with tubes. I'd go with all my buddies and they'd be like, it's so much fun, blah, blah, blah. But all I could think in my mind was, I could see 5,000 people right now that have all paid $20 to be here. This is an excellent business. So when I moved up here, I was talking to my friends, and we lived right in Merriman Valley down on the Cuyahoga River. And I was like, let's go float this river. And they're like, don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean float the river? So I bought some tubes. Me and my buddies went and grabbed some tubes, took some friends, took Savannah, and we all went, and they all had a blast. And they were like, when can we go again? And that's when Savannah and I were like, okay, we need to make this accessible for everybody. I wish I would have known that I wanted to be an entrepreneur in high school. I wish somebody would have told me, like, that's an option for you. But society, my parents, my friends, everybody told me that college is the only way that you can be successful. And I'm a competitive person. I want to be successful. So I went to college. It was much later on in my life when I found out that I did want to be an entrepreneur. I went to college, hated that, quit, started a company, went up in the ranks of the company. It was great money, and I still wasn't fulfilled. I had everything I wanted. I had a brand new truck, all the toys that I could think of, four-wheelers, but it still wasn't fulfilling for me. It's about being an entrepreneur and being my own boss and starting my own company. And this had a low barrier of entry, considering the other business ideas that I had probably would have required like $1 million in funding. But the low barrier of entry, the high profit margins, that's kind of what drove me to start this company, and the opportunity. And I am passionate about it now. I love this business. I want to see it grow, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. But originally, the passion was more about starting my own company. There were a lot of complaints. So you can see we have, on this property, we have a tube mountain. So we got 1,000 tubes inflated. We would have to move them to and from the park every single day, and there was a lot of times we would have to leave them there throughout the day. So a lot of the local residents didn't like to see their park be used by a commercial company in that sense. So we came up with a solution to use this property across the river that was owned by the city anyway. We did a competitive bid process, went through that process against another local company that does river outfitting, and won the bid, did a better presentation, and got the property. So part of this business was funded with pre-sale tickets, and that was a huge risk. I was taking people's money before I ever provided them a service and purchasing things to be able to provide the service. It's a huge risk. If something would have went downhill and the company would have flopped, I wouldn't have been able to get them their money back. It was a big risk for me. But I believed in the company a lot. I believed that it could work. I believed that it would be successful. And I really went for it. And like I said, I'm risk tolerant anyway, so I would have figured it out to make it work. I defined my success off of this company being financially stable and sustainable. The company is making enough money to sustain itself and provide a salary to all my employees and still have some extra. Also, another way I define success is positive reviews from my customers. I love to talk to my customers after they get off the river. That's kind of what makes me feel proud, is when I go to my customers and I'm like, this is so much fun. I cannot believe that I didn't know this was here. I'm coming back. I'm bringing all my friends that I know. That does something to me, right? It's affirmation. It makes me proud. It's a cool way for me to define the success that I've had here. My ideal customer is anybody. Our age limit is 5 years old is our minimum. We get families, we get bachelorette parties, we get college kids, we get family reunions. There's tons of different reasons for people to come and visit us. Our ideal customer is everybody. So I capture them by doing a broad marketing plan. I market to mothers, I market to fathers, I market to college students, I market to church groups. We do a broad digital marketing strategy. When we moved here, nobody was doing anything like this with tubes. That we would rarely see some people floating the river with their own tubes, but nobody was offering the shuttle service, the full complimentary shuttle, life jackets, everything you need. So we kind of differentiate that way. We're going to include bicycles next year, bicycle rentals. We got a bike path right across the river, so we're going to start renting out bikes off of this property. We just had to figure out parking first, but that's going to happen early next year. My advice would be, don't be intimidated by funding, because there's a million ways to get funded. There's crowdsourcing, there's friends and family, there's angel investors, there's self-funding, there's pitch competitions. If you're passionate and you have a solid idea and a solid business plan, there's ways to get funding. It's not as intimidating as it seems.